Shalom, shalom. Keepers of sheep. Brother Kashai. Back with another lesson. Lord's will. This video is edifying. Alright. Before we begin, I'd like to first start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High. Yahweh Bahashem. Yahweh Shai Bahashem. Rekah HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom. And shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. And of course, today's lesson is inspired through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekah HaKwadash. And as you can see, today's lesson will be titled, They Doubted David. All right. Or they doubted King David. Okay. And yeah, man. Again, this will be, focused on exhortation. All right. And just want to make a few points on being how, people are going to doubt. Okay. People are going to fear. Okay. People are not going to believe how we believe. Right. And this lesson is somewhat inspired by the Elder Yashawamba lesson he put up about speaking victory over different certain circumstances and situations, right? And his page is Remnant Save 144. Yeah, he did a lesson yesterday, about 20 hours ago. It says speak victory over circumstances, hell, and negativity, right? And negative thoughts, something of that nature. But anyway, you have to understand, David was doubted also. Okay, the king was doubted. Okay, so how much more us in these times? Because we have our own battles, right? And that's what the elder was going into. We have a battle. We may not have a physical battle, right now, but we have a spiritual battle, and we have our own Goliaths, all right, in the spirit, each brother. And King Saul and the Israelite army, they doubted David, man. Okay, looking at who David was, and that's how it is. People look at you, and they don't see the king in you. Okay, they don't see what the Lord sees. All right. They see the guy they grew up with, or the guy they married, or the the guy from the highways and byways, or the guy they work with. All right, they don't see you for the king. All right, that you truly are. Okay, because the Lord is the Lord is making kings, man. All right, the Lord is creating kings right now. Okay, all right, beginning with the elect men, all right, of the nation of Israel, the 144,000. All right, and David, he will be under Yahweh Shai, he will reign in the kingdom of heaven, man. So if they doubted David, how much more us, man? All right, how much more us, right? So just got a few precepts. Yeah, they even doubted the Lord, right? They even doubted Yahweh Shai himself, right? Even after he came back, even after the resurrection, they doubted him. Okay, matter of fact, we'll go there real quick. God, this is Matthew 28, and I'll start at verse 12. It says, or should I start at 11? I'll start at verse 12. It says, and when they were assembled with the elders and had taken counsel, they gave large money unto the soldiers, saying, say ye, his disciples came by night and stole him away while we slept. All right, so I believe they were trying to bribe, not bribe, but they were trying to pay the soldiers off to say, hey, say that his disciples came and got him, because at this time, Yahushua was gone. Right? He had risen. All right. See me. Kind of bear with me. All right, picking up at 14. Where was I at? Saying, yeah, we'll pick up 14. It says, and if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you. It says, so they took the money and did as they were taught, and saying his commonly reported among the Jews until this day. It says, then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Yahushua appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him. All right, but some doubted. All right, because we're about to see things happen that people are not, out of the norm, man. We're about to see things happen that's out of the norm. Okay, people are about to see miracles. Okay, people about to witness real miracles. And on top of that, you about to see them happen, by people, or you're about to see things happen to people, by people that you wouldn't expect. Okay, that you would have never expected this person to be able to pull this off, or to do this, or or save this or save that person, whatever it may be. Like you're about to see things that's going to be unbelievable. That's why they doubt it. Some people doubt it, and some still are going to doubt. Okay, because it's going to be hard to believe. Right, and that's why you have to have the faith, man. It's where faith comes in at, right? I want to get this real quick. Bear with me. Let's get Samuel 17. Samuel 17 real quick. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17. And where do I want to start? I'll start at verse 31. It says, and when the words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said to Saul, let no man's hearts fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. All right, so here it is, man. They doubted David. All right, here it is. Saul, all right, Saul himself. All right, Saul doubted David. Okay, because he why? He assumed just because he was young, man. All right, but he didn't know that the Lord was with him. So it doesn't matter if you're young, if you're old. It doesn't matter if you're alone. All right, you may be the only believer in your family, the only believer in your city. Okay, it doesn't matter, man. It says 32, and David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine, man." All right, and it's teaching us that we have to be bold, man. All right, bold as lions, like the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing. We went into this at camp yesterday, but we come to times where you can't doubt. Your faith has to be on 100%. Okay, you can't doubt, you can't waver. You have to know, man. All right. 33. And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight," talking about Goliath, "to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." So people gonna say, man, you just a truck driver, or you just a plant worker, or you just a dude to stay up the street. You whatever. People are gonna not see you as the Israelite man. All right, the man of the Lord that you truly are in these times to come, man. And David said unto Saul, "Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth when he arose against me. I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him." So he telling Saul, "Hey, man, I know how to war. I know how to get down. I know how to fight. I know how to protect myself." And that's why we have these in the spirit. It's why we have these little battles. You have a season where you may fight something in the spirit. All right, and you have to overcome that, because those little battles get you prepared for that bigger battle. All right, the ultimate battle. All right, the battle that may make you king. Okay, that may put you in places where the Lord appointed you to be. All right, start back at 33. Again, 1 Samuel 17:33. And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." And David said unto Saul, "Thy servant kept his father's sheep." And David telling he was just a shepherd boy. He was just a keeper of the sheep. All right, he was telling let him know, like, and that's some of us. All right, we was once just people of the world. You was just again, whatever your occupation may be, or whatever, you was just that and only that. But the Lord is bringing us from that, because we're more than what this world deems us to be. All right, we're more than what the titles and expectations people put on us. Okay. That's that on that. Let's see what else. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon real quick. Chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them." It says, "In the sight of," this is the point, verse 2, "in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery." All right, so people expect for us to die. They expect for us to lose. They expect for stuff to happen, and us not to get the victory, man. All right, even now, they see us and they say, they don't believe, they doubt. All right, they don't believe the cause that we're pushing. It says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die. All right. And their departure is taken from misery. And some brothers will be martyrs for this truth. Some brothers will go out. Okay. Whether it be, by the beheadings. Okay. Persecutions. Battle. All right. Some brothers may be, some brothers may have to get down. And they may, they may lose in the flesh. But in the spirit, ultimately they get the victory, man. All right. I also want to get to the account of Samuel with the exact account where David, he slew Samuel. I mean, not Samuel, Shalakia, but Goliath. Why? And 1 Samuel, real quick, 17:51. It says, therefore, David ran and stood upon the Philistine. Matter of fact, should I stop at 50? Yeah, I start up Salakia. I start at 48. This is 1 Samuel 17:48. It says, and it came to pass, all right, well, and, on a carnal level, you thinking about Goliath, all right, a giant, and you thinking about David, okay, a boy, all right. You expect for David to lose. You expect for Goliath to win. All right, on a carnal sense, on a fleshly level, just looking at him. All right, that's why we have to remain in the spirit. You have to, war in the spirit, battle in the spirit. Meaning, again, and we'll grab that also. The Most High doesn't look at men's outward appearance, because the war, the battle begins within. Okay. So this is 1 Samuel 17:51. It says, and it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, and David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. David was ready, man. All right, that's how you have to be. You have to be bold. You have to be confident. Okay, you have to know you already won. All right, and David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead, and the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him, but there was no sword in the hand of David. All right, so showing you David, he got the best of him. He won, man. All right, with the slingshot. Therefore, David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. Come on. So, hey, man, when the Lord is on your side, you can win any battle. All right? You can win any battle. All right, we have to keep that in mind, man. No matter what it look like, it's in front of us. All right, no matter how big the opponent, the situation, if the Lord is on your side, ultimately you have nothing to worry about. Okay. One more precept. Let's get matter of fact, I'll start at verse. I'll start at verse 4. It says 1 Samuel 16 and 4. It says, and Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming and said, comest thou peaceably? All right, because, they was thinking that, he was coming to bring, bad news, man. All right. Something, because, when the prophets were on the scene, a lot of times, they prophesy what was to come, all right, or a judgment. All right. Verse 5, it says, and he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves and come with me. Come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass when they were come, that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Lord anointed him. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on his height, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. All right, and see, this is an account going into how, again, they doubted David, because who was the father? Surely. Eliab, because the father of David, he didn't expect for David to be the king. He didn't expect David to be the one that the Lord had chose, so that's why he brought him out last, right? He verse 8 says, then Jesse called Abinadab, Shalakia, and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither hath the Lord chosen this. And Jesse made Shemaiah to pass by, and he said, neither hath the Lord chosen this. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said to Jesse, the Lord hath not chosen these. And said to Jesse. Also, Jesse was the father. Salakia. Jesse is the father. Yeah. Salakia. And Samuel said to Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. So he was the youngest. So they didn't think, this was the one, the anointed, the king. And Samuel said to Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy. Meaning he was young, man. He looked young. There's a baby face, It says, and withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. All right, he was a young man, handsome man. All right, again, baby face, And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. All right, and that shows you, the Lord, because carnally, you would think the Lord would chose the tallest, the strongest, the most meanest looking, all right, man. But the Lord doesn't. His ways are not our ways, man. The Lord doesn't see as man see. All right, he doesn't judge how man judges. All right. So, hey, man, with that, Lord will, once again, this video was edifying. Until next time, I'd like to close out by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect.